Hello everybody, my name is Felisha Pitts. I am the founder and CEO of Felisha Pitts Enterprises LLC. I am the author of the Bible Study Journal Note Takers Edition, and I am also the treasurer of MAD. And I am mad about domestic violence.
Hey guys, I am Angel Harmon. I am a branding and marketing strategist for my business, The Pink Group, and I'm also the vice president of Manifest a Deliverance. We are mad about domestic violence.
Hey, I'm Cassandra, and we're back with Through the Eyes of a Woman with Felisha Pitts and Through the Eyes of a Friend with Angel Harmon. So we know that everybody has their different points of view as to what domestic violence is. But Felisha, when you hear the word domestic violence, what does that mean to you?
To me, domestic violence is like both verbal and physical abuse towards the woman in the relationship, and sometimes even men deal with domestic violence. But whenever I hear it, it's both verbal and physical to me. So that's what I think about it.
Okay, that's good that you said towards the man as well. As I've said before, there's such a stigma that it just happens to women. And that's something that we want to break here is domestic violence can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter if you're the most powerful woman or man in the world, you can actually be inserted into a domestic violence situation because people change and you never know how they're going to retaliate and what's been building up, because things that's been building up in us can, come out at different levels in life. So I know that through the eyes of a friend, you've had me. You've had, friends, and me included, as not only a friend, a partner, a cousin, but how do you feel when you know that your friends are in domestic violence situations? Like, how does that actually make you feel?
Honestly, personally, it makes me feel, it goes both ways. It makes me feel horrible in that I'm like, oh my gosh, why does it have to be them? Why does it have to be so close to home? But it also makes me feel like a protector. Like I have to do what I need to protect them, or feel like I need to make sure that that I'm assuring them that they have a safe harbor in me. So yeah.
And that's a lot when you say safe harbor. I know that within domestic violence situations, a lot of people don't get out because they think they don't have anywhere to go. But when you know that you have a place to go, you have a place of safety that you can actually go to, that makes a lot of difference when it comes to a domestic violence victim. So Felisha, we'll come back to you. And I want you just to give us your honest opinion about this, just your honest feelings. How do you feel that domestic violence can be unmasked?
I believe it can be unmasked by something similar to what Angel just mentioned, with women being a safe harbor or being a safe harbor for your friends or people that are going through it. The reason I say that is because I feel like a lot of times there is not enough genuineness in friendships and relationships with women because it's a lot of competition or jealousy or strife and anger. And a lot of times we do not look past someone's actions and what is causing them to act this way. We just kind of look at it and just, oh, something wrong with her, she crazy or whatever. And a lot of times we don't take the time to really see, okay, well, maybe somebody going through something. So I feel like if we just take steps back as women and we become more passionate about each other, I think it will open the door for people to, like, for women to feel comfortable, or a man to feel comfortable with saying, I'm in a bad place right now, this is what I'm going through, because there again, they don't feel like there's anybody that they can talk to. So listening and before acting is very important, because I know for myself, I want to be the listener. I want to hear what's going on with someone before I judge them by what they're doing. So I think if we take time to not judge people by what they're doing, but take the time to listen, because when people acting, you gotta listen to that too. Like, they might not be talking, but they're acting, but you have to listen to the actions. And I think the more that we take time to listen to people's actions, it'll open our understanding to see, okay, is something going on with this person? Maybe I can make myself available to be that person that they can speak to. So I believe that is a major role in unmasking domestic violence, because it all goes back to people not having someone to talk to, and the listening part and being that safe space for someone to talk to. To me, that's everything. That is everything.
That's an amazing answer, because in my head I'd have made a whole logo, LPP, listen, patience, passion.
Yes.
And that's really what it is, listening to that person, showing interest, because we're going to show interest in what we're passionate in, and then just being patient, understanding that there are some things in their background that they haven't dealt with, or some things that's going on with them that we might not even know about because they haven't taken the time to verbalize it. And one reason is because nobody's taking the time to listen. So that's really a great answer. So with listening, you said something about response. Some people just talk. Without listening, they're so ready to respond that they forget about the listening part. So Angel, I'll ask you, how do you respond when you find out that your friends or your family are in different situations dealing with domestic violence? What's your response to that?
Honestly, when I want to say that my response can be a little, it can be a little different, and it makes me become like that black sheep, because I'm not one to take direct sides. I'm going to listen to your side, and I'm going to hear what the other person has to say, and I'm going to come at you with a more broad perspective. I'm not going to instantly say, oh my God, well, listen to a female, I'm not going to instantly say, oh my gosh, he or she, they're this, they're that, that shouldn't have happened to you. I'm really going to want to know, well, what did you do?
Exactly.
What did you say? What led up to that point? Same thing for the guy, with, speaking from my own experience, with my brother, when he comes to me and talk, and I'm like, well, what did you do? What did she say?
Mm-hmm.
How did she react?
Yes.
How did you react? Did you hit her first? Who did what to who? Because I want to take that and look at it from an outside perspective, looking into, then give my response, because I want to be smart about it. I don't want to just make it. I don't want to make a unsound decision or give an unsound advice without actually taking an outside view or bird's eye view of the situation, then assess and go from there.
And that's an excellent point, being able to assess the situation from both sides. And that's actually, you being a police officer right there, and a counselor and all kinds of stuff. So that's actually a very, very, very good approach, because I know that sometimes, like I said, men are so drilled about they're the abuser. But I was thinking about a situation. I'm like, you done bleached this man's clothes. You done put sugar in his tank. You done went to his mama's house and bust out her windows. You done kept the man baby from him. You done did all of this. And when he retaliates with a physical response, because that's the only way he knows how to retaliate, because he's not mentally stayed sane enough to respond in a different way, then you're, oh my God, I'm battered.
You want us to feel,
and it's but you may be battered, and that's bad. But you also are a little immature in your actions that has caused this action to take place.
Abuser.
So yes, the abuser is usually also the one that's being abused. And usually when the abuse is coming in other ways beyond physical, it's not addressed. So I do believe, and because I provoked it, what you gonna do? What you think you gonna do? Oh, you ain't gonna hit me, just bouncing around, just whatever. And then when it actually happened, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna hit you back, because you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. We just gonna be fighting up here. But it took me elevating to a different mindset, saying, I don't want to do all this anymore.
Right.
So that's a great answer, an awesome answer, taking a look at both sides in your response as a friend, because friends and family getting mixed up in that can cause a lot of drama on itself.
Right.
So I'm gonna go back to you, Felisha. What advice would you give someone in a domestic violence situation that is just, they have no idea about domestic violence, period? They've never heard about it. They don't really understand what it is. They don't even understand they're being abused. So what would you say to that person?
That's a tough one, because I don't have personal experience in that. But one thing that I say is a general rule over everything is you have to know what you're worth. most of the time, which I don't even know, like I said, I have never been in that situation, but the way that we receive love says a lot about how we view ourselves.
Okay.
And a lot of times, if we don't feel like we deserve something, we'll settle. Or you'll settle in a situation where you feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be in, because you don't know nothing better. So my advice, and I hate to go here, but I have to go there because I pray for everybody. I pray about different situations, because a lot of times, coming from a standpoint of not being in it and not knowing, I always go to God, because I be like, okay, something's going on here, and you have to help them. You have to open their understanding. You have to deal with this person. And I just really believe that he starts opening eyes, and he starts showing them, okay, I'm worth more than this. I don't have to tolerate this.
Right.
I always say you put yourself in position sometimes because you refuse to leave. And a lot of times God is like, the door is open. You can go. But sometimes you be afraid to go because you are stuck. And it's not because someone is making you stay, but it's because you've made a conscious decision to be in fear of not going. And a lot of times we have the opportunity every day to get up and just leave. And sometimes we think, well, we give this person the power to cause us to not go. And I believe that in some situations are more severe where they can't leave like that, but in situations where you can,
right?
I just, I always be like, well, you can go. You don't have to settle. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to be in this current situation. You can move. You can live better, have better, but you have to let go of this. And you have to look past, like, okay, well, he makes me feel a certain way, or she makes me feel a certain way.
Good.
You gotta leave.
Right.
Because while you're tolerating this low level of love, there's a higher level of love out there that someone is waiting to give you, but because you don't want to let go of this little stuff that ain't really love in the first place, it's control. It's not love, it's control. And you want to stay there, you can't enjoy this. And a lot of times, you're wasting time. You're wasting precious time. Life is so short. And a lot of times we can't live our life because we're holding on to things. And you have to understand, I'm worth more. I can do better. I can have better. I don't have to stay here. And a lot of times you don't know it because you don't have that understanding from God. Because I always say, if in order for me to understand love, I gotta first understand he who loves me.
You say that.
And when I understand how he loves me, I can love me, and then I can really love you.
Good.
I can love other people, and I can show love to other people, and I can accept love from other people. Because if I don't know how love is supposed to be shown, I can't accept it because I don't know what it is. I can't give it because I don't know what it is. And you have to have that understanding. And that understanding only comes from God. So a lot of times, you can call me deep if you want to, but I just go to God.
Get deep.
Because I have to. Because I'm not the type of person to put myself in everybody's situation.
Right.
Growing up and being that counselor type person, I used to do that, and God had to show me quickly, like, that's not me, that's you. So he taught me how to, you come to me, you bring the problems to me, and I will fix them. So when I've had situations where I might have seen people in things like that, but I don't get involved because I wasn't invited to. I don't invite myself in people's problems. If you come to me and you ask me for advice or something like that, I'm going to be the listener, like I said before, because it's very important to listen. A lot of times people don't need your advice, they just need you to listen. But as I listen, I pray. I give it to God, because they don't have enough strength in them to give it to him. So I always see it as if you a mailbox. I'm the mailbox. You put in this mail in me, I'm taking it to God so he can fix the issues. And I just wait on the testimony. I just wait on him to open their understanding and let them see how much they're worth and how things can be so different for them. But I mean, honestly, going back to your question, my advice would be to know that you have more than this. God is love. Right. Go to God. And sometimes when the situation is very, very dangerous and you don't understand what to do, press to go to God. Get in a secret place, get in a quiet place, because contrary to your belief, He hears you.
Yes.
And He will get you out of this situation. He will provide a way of escape. Sometimes that's the very invitation that He needs. You know, He can take that pain, all that stuff you've been through, and He can turn it around and make it like worth your while. You know, but you don't get to experience that until you let it all go.
Release.
Because if you still holding on to it, He can't fully bless you, because you're gonna go back. And you have to be serious. Like a lot of times, you've heard the stories where women leave the man, or they'll leave and then they'll go right back.
Right.
But you have to make the conscious decision to say enough is enough. I'm sick of you hitting on me. I'm sick of you talking to me like this. I'm not going to tolerate it. Not for you to do something,
Right.
but for you to ask God for a way of escape.
Yes.
And I believe in my heart of heart that He will provide it. I do. I believe He will send somebody your way. He will send some type of help. And He never lets you down. But you have got to be serious about it. And He knows when you're serious.
He does. See, well, I want to add to. I kind of want to add to that, because you actually said some things, but I kind of also want to play like devil's advocate a little bit. And I say that not complete devil's advocate, but just to look at it from a different perspective. And I say that because it's easy to look at it from that perspective now, because we're older, we're mature, but for the younger people.
Right.
Who don't know, who don't understand, who don't care to know God, like they're stuck. And I say that because I have a friend, when we were early 20s, there was a situation where, you know, her guy was he was on a rampage. We were on our way to a party. We had to turn around because he hadn't kicked in her door. It was horrible. Like, it got to the point where, like, he took her in the room, he was throwing her around. I just so happened to open the door. I don't know if me opening the door to her room would have saved her life. I don't know. But she was on the floor, he was hovering over her. He managed to, like, walk out the room or whatever, and, like, she told me she was okay, but I knew she wasn't okay, because that fight wasn't, like, he was standing over her, and you could see, like, she was trying to be strong, but at the same time, like, you don't know. And then something happened where that same night we were standing in the kitchen, and he had like he was coming towards us, because I was with her standing in the kitchen, but I was protecting her. Like, I just remember, like, he had this stale look in his eyes. He was gone. Like, it was him, but he wasn't there. Gotcha.
And I just remember stepping in front of her, and I was like, no. Like, I looked at him and I was like, no.
Right.
And like, I don't know what happened in that moment. It was God scared. Like, yeah, I was scared for my life. But in that moment, like, he stopped and he just turned around and he walked out. But I just remember, like, in that, like, because like I said, we were young, and I wasn't in church like that. You know, I don't know if I can't remember if she was, but it's like, knowing what I know now, I can now say that.
Yeah.
But then, in that moment, you have nothing. It's like a fight or flight, like, literally.
Right.
But at the same time, thankfully, you know, she didn't go completely back, but there were times where, you know, she did feel like that. She had that level of emotion where she was just like, what do I do? Like, I want to know what happened. Like, I want to know why he did this, you know, or what, like, I mean, she went through that, but at the same time, it's like, if you don't know, if you don't have somebody to help you, like, because, I mean, granted, like, it was a good bit of people there that night, but
nobody says
but
anything.
Nobody so it was just, although it was more than a handful of people in that house that night, it was her, I, and him, is what it felt like in that moment, and it was, what do you do? You know, it's like, what do you do? What can you say besides try to fight for your life?
and do what you need to do, but it's that same, you can only use the resources that you have, which is leaning and depending on each other to make sure that she doesn't go back or to make sure that he doesn't come back. You know, you can't talk to your mom, you can't talk to your dad, you can't talk to the people in the church. What would they think? How would they feel? Oh, they're just gonna tell me to leave. But it's not that easy because I love him. I want him. I don't know what happened, but I want to be with him. I want that connection that we built, that friendship. Like I want to, okay, so what? We don't get back together, but I want to hold on to him because I want to make sure that he's okay. I want to make sure that he's okay mentally, that I'm okay mentally, that we're good. I want to hold on to that friendship that we once had, but it's like, well, again, what do you do? What do you do?
So when you're in that situation and you're like at that what do you do point, you know, I know that I love this person and you're a friend looking in on this situation. You're talking to your friend right now. What exactly would you say to your friend to get her out or get him out or get them out of that situation?
Oh my God, that is...
What words would you tell them?
That is a biggie. I honestly, my God, oh Jesus, trying to look at it from in that moment situation. Or are you, okay, let me rephrase. Are you asking in that moment from my perspective now?
So it didn't calm down, even if it's now or then, it didn't calm down and you know that your friend's in this bad situation. And basically, you know they love them, but you also know that their life is not going to progress and it may end with them. So what advice would you give that friend to just let them know, hey, you got to get out of this?
I would say in that moment, looking at it from my perspective now, I'm actually like on the same page as Felisha.
Okay.
Like I would look at them and I would say, baby, you deserve so much more. Baby, like I need you to understand that I'm here. That I'm here, you have me. I don't care who else is around right now, but you have me.
Gotcha.
You may not feel that I can protect you, but I can get you out right now. I can do something a little bit more, and I can do something for you that nobody else is going to offer you in this moment. And that's also praying for you and with you to know that God is going to handle that and to know that He's going to get you out of this. And He might not take care of it the way that you expect Him to take care of it,
There you go.
or when you want Him to take care of it, but He's going to take care of it. And I would also just like I said, just reassure them, like, listen, like, I'm here. Like, you can talk to me. I mean, if it's your choice at the end of the day to go back, but still know that I'm here. Don't feel like you can block me out, or don't feel like you have to block me out because I'm gonna intrude.
Right.
Now that you
all your business.
Now that you put me in it, I'm gonna be in it. I'm gonna
Right.
stay on top of you. I'm gonna make sure to check in with you. I'm gonna make sure that you're with me daily. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, whatever it is, whatever decision you want to make at the end of the day, I support you. But just know I'm gonna be side-eyeing you to keep you on your P's and your Q's, because you're telling me what you want. You're telling me if you get to that point where you're telling me I know what I'm worth, I deserve more. Okay, well, who is that person?
What we gonna do?
Show me that person.
Right.
Like I'm here. I want to believe it. Show me. Like you are who you say you are. Okay, well I'm gonna call you out on it. Like what are we gonna do? Like we gonna do it together.
Huge. I remember when I got married, the lady who was my decorator, she was talking to my now ex-husband, and she said, "We're not doing this for you. We're doing this for her." And I was just like, "Ooh, that was it right there." Like, oh my God. But now I understand about people supporting you even if they don't support your decisions.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot with a domestic violence situation, or even with a situation period, where you might not agree with what I do, but you understand who I am, you know? And so that's a comfort in itself when you have a friend that's like, girl, you worth it. You work more than this. We're not worried about that. Or you got a homeboy like, why you letting this girl do this to you? But in a sense, we're still your friend, because friendship means a lot. Devotion. I ain't gonna key into on the word loyalty, because that's so vain now these days. But because the only person you should be loyal to is yourself, and if you're loyal to yourself, then you can be loyal to others.
Right.
That's supposed to be in your circle. But those are amazing points. So we got a lot out of this today. A lot of good advice through the eyes of a woman. And it's great because you're a woman who haven't been in a domestic violence situation, so you can really give us a viewpoint of how you view domestic violence, and through the eyes of a friend who has actually had friends that's been in domestic violence situations. So, Bible study journal. How can we find it?
You can find my Bible study journal.
Because you done preached today.
Oh yes, but Lord, you to go. You can find my Bible study journal on FeliciaPitts.com, or you can reach out to me on social media. My name is Felisha Nicole Pitts on all my platforms, and that's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Felisha Nicole Pitts, I'll be there, and you can get the journal that way.
All right, write it out.
Yes.
Journaling is amazing. So, Pink Group, how do we find you, Angel?
You can find me. That was creepy. You can find me, just my name, Angel Harmon, on Facebook, Angel Keishay. That's ANGELKESHAY.
Get it
On
right.
Instagram. I'm not active, but I need to be. Or you can go to our the website, thepinkgroupgirls.com, and you'll be able to see all the information about my business and the services that we offer and stuff like that there.
Well, I want to thank both of you ladies for sharing your opinions, your facts, and your knowledge today. We are unmasking domestic